while this is still a big surprise, we knew it would be Legendary Lin. We did not know the other heroes were going to be this good. What?
Yeah, they really make it clear that they can just use units even through like a year or two ago at this point. Like that's pretty sweet. I can't
That's
lie.
pretty big. We just got one of the best nukes entire, well, I don't know if I can still say that, but one of the best physical nukes entire game.
Yeah, even though there's more consistent ones and many like Karla that are better, she's still really good at what she does.
Okay, we'll start Karla first. Usually these are pretty short because there's only like one hero worth talking about or getting, but now there's like multiple.
Technically speaking, you could justify anybody here.
Sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why this one's pretty worthwhile to talk about, because Karla, Dry Blade Lance, for those forgot, she's supposed to have instant AoE. That's how you make her truly scary. It is funny though, she doesn't feel that old, but she is in fact that old. 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Because what Hatari Banner was January 2022, I think.
And then Kadeen was a full year later. Yeah, so we're actually a little over a year and a half now.
The reason why I'm bringing all that up is because Special Spiral 3, Odd Tempest, that in her base kit is completely useless. So the good news is you can change all of that. If it's up to me, it's SS4 with TP4.
Yeah, that works just fine. You
That
can
works
also
fine.
just Times Pulse support her.
For the record, by the way, Dry Blade Lance, 20%, 20 true damage per cooldown of your special based on unit speed, percentage-wise, plus 10. So if you run an AoE, that's 70% of her speed turned into true damage.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
She's still really good. It's just physical AoE nukes, or physical nukes in general, unless you're a God Sword or a God Lance or God anything, in other words, taking damage, it's really hard to pull off. Karla is not that. She doesn't have the survivability to take on battles over and over again.
Not
at
necessarily.
At most, she wins the first one by stomping them out in one shot.
The issue with her compared to someone like Zed is that she's melee, and getting
She's
her
melee
in there
and
can be
infantry.
tough. Yeah.
Bring Karla as a cavalry, that's why it's able to work a little better.
Yeah, and I think that's why they made Karla, because they recognize the new Karla, because she needs extra movement at all times.
There's a reason why this one had Tempest, because they knew that she needed the movement. So they just gave it to her proper. If you want to use her like a pseudo cav, one way you can go about it is to run Close Call for instead. Gives her a little extra sustainability. Yeah, you lose your ability to easily loop your AoEs, but I'll speak from experience. You just need one sometimes. You go in, pop the AoE, close call out, maybe even have a Canto from a buff, and you can safely retreat after a ridiculous nuke. So that is also an option. I've seen it happen to me once. It literally was so bad. They had a Pathfinder chain with Canto 1 Karla. She retreated back one from close call, and then Cantoed all the way through the Pathfinder chain back into safety, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Okay, what would her A slot be?
Her A slot ideally should just be finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also run a Hexblade, though.
You can run Hexblade.
I was thinking about Hexblade, but it's really hard to pull it off. I don't know how she's going to retreat. She doesn't have Canto. How she's going to retreat into ally.
Yeah, it would basically be like you'd have to run Close Call 4 or something, and then you give up her damage, or her anti-DR, rather.
Also, that's the thing. She needs true damage in combat just to make sure she closes the kill, in case she somehow does 0.
Okay.
So, that finish is good enough for that.
So Close Call 4 will help a lot. I'm still a bigger fan of Special Spiral 4. If you're going to AoE, you might as well do it as best as possible, and that's the only thing you can...
Yeah, well, the only thing is...
possible.
It's better for ranged ones, because they're more likely to get more than one off. Melee ones are so hard to use anyways, it's really only going to be for one. That's the way I see it anyways.
Okay, sure. So there's 2 possible builds, chat, but yeah, I think we can agree on finish, agree on TP4, just not agreed completely on the B slot. Special Spiral 4, Close Call 4, up to you guys. Special's probably gonna be...
Vital Astra?
Oh shoot, that's right, Vital Astra. Yeah, just make her into a God Lance. There you go,
Yeah,
God Lance variant.
Why not? Yeah, if you want to go Godlike Reflexes even, technically that works, because this has the pre-charge in it. You just, you know.
Yeah, that's true, because it is turn 1, countdown 2. Oh my, she must... That's actually more interesting in my books. This is one of the best godlike reflex users.
The only problem is that she literally wastes her entire true damage boosts of Dry Blade Lance. So it might as well just be a Quick Impulse 2 Lance.
Oh, that's true. That's true, yeah.
It's still interesting, though. And I mean, considering that you're probably not going to use anything other than AoE or Draconic Aura because you need the higher cooldown.
All right. So yeah, there's a lot to do with Karla apparently. So 3 possible builds essentially, depending on if you want to commit to Godlike Reflexes, Vado Astra, or her more normal role, which is just AoE, physical AoE with something else. But okay, enough about her. We'll talk about the rest of the heroes.
Yep.
Hero 2, Leila, the Keen Lookout. Her stats. Oh boy, we're getting to the point where 90 overall and looking at 90 overall plus. So she's starting to really fall behind.
The speed's still good though.
That's 9 stats off of the 90 overall that you would be looking for.
Of the 2023 min-maxing jump, not even the BST jump. It was just a min-max era that happened.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, well, Leila was really interesting. She was from a generation of heroes that it looked like they were ripping off Persona 5.
She's also
generations
ago.
So for those who forgot, the entire point of her entire release was that Kanto manipulation that they were supposed to get.
Yeah.
So Kanto 2,
yep.
the Kanto Ally 2, which is the really weird one. I don't think they ever did this again, which is for good reason.
There was never been another weird Kanto until specifically Karla and Kagero getting the Kanto Retreat plus movement one. It's basically like an aerobatic or whatever after you use Kanto, which is actually...
Yeah, so the big thing is she needs to outspeed her opponent, so focus on counterattack. Deals 10 damage to target and foes in 2 spaces after combat.
It's Poison Strike Savage Blow on sweep.
Okay.
With Mega Kanto.
It's a pretty fun weapon, really.
Yeah, it's got good safety, ridiculous retreat. Now,
the one thing that's really annoying about this is no Flared Sparrow.
Damn.
Yeah. Deferez Poke is actually really huge. That is a very good C slot that you don't have to go for. Not that I would think you were going to go for it anyways, but it's nice to have that option.
Yeah. I mean, considering you're moving adjacent to an ally, it's very easy to abuse the Pathfinder. Yeah, as mentioned, no Flared Sparrow in this, so you can't get even more true damage.
Okay, so then what kind of build are we looking for?
So, Flyers, since we don't have Flared Sparrow hero, have basically no options. You're really just looking at
get Unity or Catch.
Or Unity. Yeah, Unity would probably... Well, she won't be near allies until after she attacks.
After she attacks. Actually...
If anything, she actually might be pretty far away from them prior to that.
Yeah.
C-Slot should probably... Yeah.
Guidance 4, man. It's way too good.
There's no reason not to.
And she positions very well. Yep.
You could do Attack Speed Oath 4 as well, because how
you
it can works.
But then... Yeah, I guess you warp in, then you warp out.
That's actually really cool.
It gets very funny. I admit that. Because you could hypothetically... you could warp in front of an ally and then warp back to another ally. So you could just cover range that doesn't even look reasonable for this kind of unit. Res 4.
Oh, Seal Res 4. I was like, wait, Chill Speed Res 4? It's like, what?
Or Seal Speed if you want to make sure you meet the speed check. If you're that paranoid.
Okay, yeah. Chill Speed, Chill Res, more damage, guaranteeing doubles. Okay, that's fair enough for me.
Yeah, that's about as good as you're going to get.
All right, fair enough, chat. I think this is probably a better end-term build for Unity because she's going to be near allies, and Unity is better than Catch in a lot of situations, so Catch will just give you more raw attack and speed, so you can go for Catch if you can't find Unity. Seal Speed 4 makes a lot of sense. Seal Res 4 makes a lot of sense. Your choice, whichever one you think you need more. If it's not low merges, though, Seal Speed 4 is going to be safer.
Ooh, she can use Wings of Mercy 4, can't she?
Oh, that
you
actually...
can, yes.
But you can't teleport out in that situation.
Can
she? Actually, I have no idea anymore.
Or Kantos work like that. When
but you'd have to make sure that Wings of Mercy isn't going to an ally who's really far away from other allies.
Suppose you have another ally nearby the ally you Wings of Mercy into, which is reasonable.
Yeah.
And also bear in mind that it literally, if the ally is damaged, then you can warp within 3 spaces adjacent. So
that'll be very interesting. Maybe Wings of Mercy 4 would be more interesting to play. If you're going to Wings of Mercy 4, then you're going to have to go Unity. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. You absolutely. Because no matter what, you're going to be within 2 spaces at that point.
Yeah, I think this might be the funnest build. Yeah. Unity, Wings of Mercy 4, Guidance 4.
Yeah.
I like that.
I wish we could do Flared Sparrow, because that would probably actually give it the utility to be useful in this meta. But this is still a really cool build, and nobody else can really do something like this. So... to say the very least, this is actually a pretty unique option that this Holoforms gives us.
Okay, so yeah, I like this one. This is cool. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Ninian, and it's Fallen Ninian. I'm not sure if there's a point in Fallen Ninian anymore. She is still fairly interesting, but I never really thought much of her.
If you have a good dragon-based team, she is still very impactful. Movement +1 is one of the best
For
things you can
dragons.
give. Yeah, movement +1 for dragons. The breath buff isn't that bad though, even if you're not using that. But I mean,
and she inflicts guard as well.
Yeah, like she has a pretty solid set of utilities, and outside of her breath and assist, basically everything else can be replaced.
Okay.
So,
her base kit is not bad though.
oh no, not at all. If you need pulse tie, you need pulse tie, but it can be.
Yeah.
So for those who forgot, enveloping breath is what makes her useful or interesting. It's not that good anymore though. We have, come on, it's so sad. We just got Plumeria, who I consider the best refresher. But yeah, this doesn't hold anything up to her, but it's not bad. Attack res -7, guard on foes. She also gets a bit of a speed res +6 during combat, and her attack is really low. So it was a really weird attempt they made to make Ninian good.
I mean,
it was odd with the speed and res, but at the very least, yeah, she won't really attack.
No, she's not made to attack. Never.
Yeah, I think that's. Yep.
Yeah, never expect her to fight. That I'll just say that.
27 attack base. It's almost as if it was Ninian from 2017.
Basically.
Okay, well, with that said, how would you build her? Because this is the goofy one. If Times Pulse 4 was out, that's actually pretty interesting, but...
Infantry Pulse 4.
Infantry Pulse 4, my bad.
Honestly, A-Slot is flexible, but I think Fire Flood Boost is actually kind of fun.
Fire Flood Boost is it available? No, it's not, is it? Because that's...
I think...
Oh, wait, no, it's like in Summer Banners and Fails, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Donald's there.
Fire Flood Boost?
It's
yeah, it gives you HP. So,
HP +5, attack res 6 guard. Wait, if you're gonna lean back into
attack res 7.
Why would you want Fire Flood Boost anyways?
It's just another option for
it gives her the HP that she still uses, but you also get guard to trip up. But then again, she also inflicts guard, so it's more so just a premium option to have.
Wait, how does she use her HP? If you are not going to use Odd Pulse Tie,
it would be if you get
Panic or Infantry Pulse or other stuff like that.
And it also just opens... well, I guess let's put it this way.
I'm not sure why you commit to that, but okay, yeah.
I guess the question then would be what else? So...
Attack speed unity is still safe to go.
Attack speed unity would probably be... Because you just don't want her to get doubled.
I like the idea of Firestorm.
It is a good other option as well, yes.
It also gives cancel for her, so...
Gives her cancel, yeah. It is an option. If you want to keep Ninian close to battle at all times, then Firestorm Dance makes more sense. Wings of Mercy is still a very big flexible move, though, so it's between those two. So B slot, Firestorm Dance, or Wings of Mercy. A slot, you go Unity, then 04 might actually make sense because it extends your refresh range.
Yeah, if you're not going Wings of Mercy 4, 04 works, though I do find it to be a little because of the general fact that comps that run dancers are mobile. Just kind of how things end up being with orders buffs and guidance 4 and all that.
All right.
I guess you take surprise breath just to be funny.
Surprise breath.
Might as well. Surprise.
The other ice breath.
This one's interesting. I'm not sure how many people would actually do this Ninian, but you got a lot of options to make her a fun hero. We're gonna look to the final hero, which is Lyn. I actually have a Lyn. I am actually not going to pick up this Lyn either, even though I love Lyn. She's actually gotten quite interesting with her Refine, Swift Mulligar.
She was worthless before, yeah.
Yeah, and Laws Sakai is actually pretty good. A ton of extra stats, which we saw in the other Lyn later on, but yeah, she's not a bad archer, she's just not an excellent archer, and I'm not really sure.
We don't need that kind of archer right now, but she doesn't have... She's not bad. She has full-on impenetrable dark, which is really cool.
Yes, it's a little rough for her, unfortunately, because if you want to use her in arena, she cannot run green to infantry 4 without giving up her A slot, which is what makes her unique.
Okay,
I have her.
It could be much worse. So, I'll say that.
You would go. I actually prefer Ruptured. I think you would go.
I think you would go Ruptured because you would actually use
Ruptured and physical null follow up.
Yeah, no matter what, physical null follow up is the way to go. 100%. I mean, I guess you could argue low defense 4, but DR.
No, I would prefer physical null follow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then C slot, if she had pledged, that would be amazing, but that's not in the pool yet. So I would say probably Oath 4.
Yeah, I value Oath 4 more than TP 4 because she needs the speed badly.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you
She
care
even
about
does
summer
speed true
duels,
damage.
Yeah, you need to have as much of it as you can, and 36 base is not going to work if you don't spec into it.
You can't hexblade her. I just realized.
Nope.
Oh, go.
You can't do anything with that A slot because you need laws.
Yeah, no, you're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
I meant just for the pickup. You're gonna keep
yeah,
loss
for the
of no
pickup.
matter what.
Yeah, but for the pickup, you could go whatever you wanted, really.
Yeah. Sky's
Okay.
the limit on that one, I guess.
I
But
think that's pretty fun.
yeah, she's very straightforward as far as what you would pick up. It's just a matter if you need it. The only real advantages you get out of Lyn, A, Green Archer, if that's an advantage. B, safety against dragons and all other melee units as opposed to being only physical. And C, you really need to, like, feud, because that's the big point of her, is that she shuts down support skills.
Yeah.
And she's Lyn.
Which is legitimate.
And she's Lyn.
I told you this
Also,
She
that
is
is awesome.
Lyn. That counts for...
All right. So I think that's gonna be it. This is a Weird Hall of Forms. I think it's really good.
It is a
It's
really
pretty
good
solid.
one.
It's much better than some of the ones we've gotten.
It's a good one, but it doesn't feel like there's any like major hitters. And
Yeah,
it's
there's
sadly in
no
part because of
absolute
skills.
must pull.
There is no bad hero. That's the big thing for
No.
me. Usually there's at least
Yeah.
one bad hero, if not
There's no
three bad heroes.
God, don't even remind me.
Legendary.
Yeah, everybody having a perf here this time is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing bad, nothing ridiculous though. That's the
I think it's
will
8 out of 10.
say that.
It's
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
fair.
bottom
That's fair.
point to it, but there's no high ceiling either.